Yes, welcome friends. Today we are entering into the last model, that is the kinematics of the rigid bodies and the D'Alembert's principle. Already you have studied it in your 12th class. We shall see few problems and what are all the basic definitions and the things that you have. We shall revise the things rather than discussing. Most probably D'Alembert's principle I will do in detail. But kinematics of the problems, if at all you are having any critical problem in connection with the kinematics, I will go for the I will go through the definitions and few problems. And if at all you are having any problem which you are not getting the answer, that you can send through the WhatsApp and I will answer for that one. And we shall go for the basics of kinematics. Yes, in the very first class I defined what do you mean by the mechanics. Mechanics is nothing but the study of bodies under forces. Whenever an object or the body is experiencing the system of forces, what is the behavior or the response of that particular body under the loads or the forces, that we are calling it as the mechanics. That mechanics we are further classifying into two categories. One is the statics and one more is the dynamics. In short, how I can define the statics? It is nothing but the mechanics of the objects at rest. Objects, the bodies are at rest and they are experiencing the forces. That mechanics I am calling it as the statics, right? Then comes the dynamics. I can call the dynamics, I can define the dynamics in short as the mechanics of the objects in motion. The objects, if they are moving and they are experiencing the forces, that mechanics I am calling it as the dynamics. Is it all right? Again, this dynamics I am dividing into two categories. One is kinematics and one more is the kinetics. It's all right. Last model is concerned with this kinematics and the kinematics. Kinematics and the kinetics, right? What is the kinematics? The dynamics of the objects without involvement of study of cause of motion. Yes, the motion is caused by, usually as per the Newton's law, a body at rest will change its state of motion unless and until it is experienced by an external agency or the force. If you are studying the mechanics of that body without taking into account the cause for the motion, that mechanics is called as, dynamics is called as the kinematics. Dynamics of the objects without involvement of study of cause of the motion. For example, I am taking a stone and throwing it in the sky. I am giving the force on it when I am throwing it. Afterwards, that force is not attached with the body, but still it is moving. Because of its initial condition, the body is under motion. Of course, the gravitational force is acting. That study is known as the kinematics. I am not taking into account what is the cause for the motion. I am studying only where the object is, what is the position of the object, what is its acceleration, velocity, various parameters of it when it is in motion, without taking into account the F. That particular kinematics is called, that particular branch of the dynamics is known as the kinematics. And one more is the kinetics. Yes, dynamics of the objects with involvement of cause of motion. Yes, a bus is moving, a car is moving with a certain acceleration. Various forces are acting on the car. Is it all right? Frictional resistance from the road is there. The accelerative force is acting on the body. Engine force is acting on the body. The tractive resistance is there on the car. All these forces together are leading to the motion of the body. And if I am studying the mechanics of that one, that mechanics, that dynamics, I am calling it as the kinetics. wonderful example for the kinetics and the kinematics. What I can say is, imagine that an aeroplane is moving in the sky, the engine is in working condition. That time, whatever the mechanics is there, that will become the kinetics, because the engine force is acting on it. Air resistance from the air, we can assume it as a negligible one. Imagine that due to some technical problem, that the engine went off. Still the aeroplane is in motion. And that mechanics, we are calling it as the kinematics. Only we are studying at different stages, at different time instants, what is the velocity, acceleration of that particular aeroplane. That will become the kinematics. Otherwise, the motion, study of motion of the aeroplane will become the, yes, kinetics. Yes, basic definition already you have studied in 10+2 anyhow, as it is there in the present syllabus. Just I will go through the revision of it. One is, what is motion? Motion can be defined as change in position of the object with the time. The object at different time instants is having the different positions. Then I say the object is in motion. Types of motions. On the basis of natural path followed by the motion. Motion, yes, a vehicle is moving on the road, or the plane is moving in the sky. Like that, the different type of the path, how they are moving, based on that one, the motion is described as the rectilinear motion. The motion in which a particle moves along a straight line is called as the rectilinear motion. Particle is moving in a straight line, whether it is moving along x-axis, y-axis, whatever may be the reference axis. If the particle moves in a straight line, then that particular type of motion, we are calling it as the rectilinear motion. Like a bus is moving from Jamkhandi to the Bijapur, it is moving on a straight road. That time, that particular motion, we are calling it as the rectilinear motion. Curvilinear motion, the motion in which the particle moves in the curved path, moves along the curved path. That I can call it as the curvilinear motion. That I can call it as the path followed by the particle is not along the straight line. It is along the curved line. Then I am calling it as the curvilinear motion. It is not along the straight line. It is along the curved path. That I am calling it as the curvilinear motion. What makes the difference? When you are studying it in depth, you will come to know. When the vehicle is moving in the curvilinear force, other from the frictional resistance, some other forces like the centripetal force, other forces are coming into picture. To take into account, that motion becomes, a study of motion will be specialized, and that we have call it as the curvilinear motion. Right. Next comes, on the basis of number of coordinate axes required to define the motion, I can call the motion as one-dimensional motion, two-dimensional motion. Yes, what exactly the meaning of one-dimensional motion? Say this is what your initial position. Say this is Jamkhandi to say the Rapkoi. It's all right. The bus is going along this particular road. Yes, if this is my reference axis, with respect to this line, I want to specify the position of that particular object. Simply what I can do, it has left the Jamkhandi bus stand. Say here, the position of it, I am taking it as the origin, that is 0 at time t is equal to 0. At any time instant, only one coordinate is needed for me. At this particular instant, what is the value of x with respect to at any time t? Only one reference x is more than sufficient for me. Even you may ask, sir, if this is the motion of the particle, can I call it as the rectilinear? Yes. Can I call it as the one-dimensional motion? Definitely you can call it as the one-dimensional motion. Only thing is, you have to change your coordinate axis. You take the x-axis like this. Because if you take this as the x-axis, you need to tell its position in this direction, what is this angle, then it won't become. If you take this as the reference axis, then definitely it will become the one-dimensional motion, right? Position of the object I can define only with respect to the one coordinate. That particular type of motion, I am calling it as the one-dimensional motion. Is it all right? So like here, an object is moving